All right, 4. Segment 1 today, it's going to be a two-parter. It's episode 7, or chapter 7 is more the right way to say it, of Coriolis, the Third Horizon. And in this first video, we are going to talk about the portals, space travel, and spaceships. Those three things are going to be lumped into this one video. The follow-up video to this is going to be space combat and the roles that characters play on spaceships. So for this first one, though, we are going to talk about spaceships and space travel. The core values of #RPGate and any good tabletop group are escapism, not representation, entertainment over activism, and natural, organic inclusion, not forced diversity. Please follow that QR code or refer to the description below for the link to the charity we support, which is the Wounded Warrior Project. Thursdays and Saturdays, you can watch the Dirty Casuals on twitch.tv/Legion of Myth. Fridays and Sundays, you can watch the Friday Night Chill Stream and RPG Digest on our YouTube and Rumble channels. Please leave us a comment with your thoughts and experiences, and if you like our gaming content, please be sure to subscribe to Legion of Myth. All right, there we are with our wonderful Coriolis book on the screen. It's been kind of cool and interesting. You know, as per normal with these deep dives, the views are down. Mm-hmm. That's just the way it works. This isn't a short-term idea. This is something that, you know, lasts the test of time, so people can come back to this 5 years from now and the information will still be good. But I've been getting a lot of good comments. People are really liking this series so far, so I appreciate that. Now, we are going to be going to Spaceships and Star Travel on page 136, 139 for the PDF, and we're going to take a look. Theoretically, I always jinx myself when I say this stuff. This chapter should be kind of quick, at least compared to the next one. So let's see how
could possibly go wrong.
Yeah, right. So let's start here. Star Travel in the Third Horizon. Star Travel in Third Horizon requires both steady nerves and plenty of time. But what about the portals? We'll get to that. How long the trip will take can be affected by anything from Corsair attacks and asteroid fields to immense distances of binary and trinary star systems. No captain should leave port without doing solid research about the route. And I think we'll be talking about that later, yeah.
Yeah, that's just a given, right? I mean, you got to know how to get to where you're going or else you shouldn't leave.
Well, especially in space. When you have this thing called darkness between the stars, you have your event horizon.
It's everything in space. If you're less than 1 degree off, you're lost. You're just lost. You're done now.
Yep.
Yeah. You live there now. This is where you live, in the darkness. Good job.
Help is provided by the Bulletin's Astrostratium, an enormous database describing a large number of routes, coordinates, and space stations all across the horizon. And we'll talk later. Again, this chapter isn't set up in what I think is the best way possible, but we'll be talking about how to utilize that with game mechanics later. Interplanetary travel times can also vary greatly depending on the orbit of the planet you are traveling to. Chapter 12 describes the minimum distances from the suns to the planet, the Kua system. I also have the Atlas as well. Space flights are rarely longer than the shortest distance between the planetary bodies, as the pilots will chart courses towards their destinations approaching orbits. Thus, the ship and the planet are moving towards each other. Calculate travel times using the shortest distance listed between two planets. Now, who even listened to what I just said right there?
I know there was a lot of word soup that didn't understand anything. A lot of concepts that they haven't explained yet, so I have no idea what they mean. I'm guessing that this game has a database of all the times it takes to get between this place and that place. It has some kind of grid type system where you can check and do that. I mean,
wishful thinking.
That'd be nice, right?
Yeah, wishful thinking. I actually looked at chapter 12. I don't want to change the page here, and it took me about 10 minutes to figure out what. Where's chapter 12? Is that chapter 12? It took me about 10 minutes to figure out. That's 10. What was going on? There we go. There's the Kua system. Like, what are you talking about? Where are these times and so forth? And so, you look at this little box up in the corner there. Tells you everything you never wanted to know about the planet. Again, sci-fi game. I get it. It's supposed to do that. The sidereal year is 336 days. So that's nice. Day length, axial tilt, surface area. Where is the distance from the sun? Huh. Yeah. Where is this in the book? There's the Atlas chapter 13, but it said chapter 12. Oh, this starts talking about system distances. Oh, there's this chart here. Can you read that? No, not because it's too small, but yeah, it's.
Well, yeah.
And look, I don't mind charts in games. I really do not. I'm an old school gamer. Reading a chart has no issues. But
more charts equals less math, right?
Yeah, but this is a D66 roll. So what does that have to do with anything? Wait, what? So we'll get to chapter 13 in 2 weeks. But yeah, ultimately, the game does not break it down in nice, easy. You have to do a little figuring. Let's just put it that way. You have to do a little looking in the book and a little bit of math.
You got to pull out that abacus.
Yes. And an abacus would be perfect for this setting. But it is there. Just understand, I'm being a little facetious, and it's not difficult. But this is one of those games, kind of like Rifts. You've got to read the book in order to run the game. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that, although I think that a chart or a better format for the system settings would have been better. Now, with all that said, travel between systems is via the portals, mysterious wormholes left behind by the portal builders. And yeah, we'll read more in chapter 13. The portals are found close to the sun of each system, closer than any of the planetary orbits. So basically, you're flying into the sun in order to get that warp boost so that you can travel back in time. Some stars have more than one portal, each one leading to a different system. The entry field into a portal is not the same as the exit field, because that would be bad. Like, bam! Oh,
there's a lot of bumping. Yeah.
So they lead to and from the same destination, but are separate from each other. So travel between two portals in a system takes about 1 day. Okay, so now we've got a little travel time going on there. So if travel between two portals in a system takes about a day. And preparation before the jump also takes about a day, usually spent waiting for a convoy to come across to split the jump fee. The jump itself is instantaneous. Heavily trafficked systems like Kua usually see 1 or 2 convoys per week, while convoys in outer systems could be whole segments. So I had to look up what a segment was. A segment is about 37 days. Think of it as an extended month.
Sure.
And it's based on the 9 icons that break up the year, et cetera, or the cycle. So calculating travel time. So look, there's another little sidebar about travel times. Shortest distance, difference between planets' individual distance from the sun. Farthest distance, the sum of the planet's individual. Okay, yeah, right. Divide the distance in AU by the spaceship speed to get the travel time.
That's from the planet to the star where the portals are.
Yes.
Okay. We have a way to get the number now. That's great. We have it takes a day to wait. It takes a day to get into the portal. Instantaneous travel to another star, and now we know how long it should take between where your destination in that new system and the starting point, which is the star. Great.
All right, I do want. So I'm not going to read all of these, but because these are sidebars. But fees and convoys for a price, the portal stations can calculate the portal field's movements and current size, making the jump relatively safe. The fees are usually high, between 5,000 and 10,000 burr. When we look at spaceship costs, you'll see the relative costs of what that means. Mm-hmm. Which means most skippers prefer to share the cost by forming convoys and jumping together. Portal jumps with coordinates calculated for a convoy give a +3 to the pilot's test. That's important.
Yes. Plus, it's also important to go somewhere where other people want to go as well if you want to do it on the cheap.
So what happens if you're like, look, I don't have time for all this stuff. Just figure it out for me. Hedon Dog, you're my pilot. Figure it out.
All right.
The broke skipper's last resort is to have the ship's crew itself make all the jump calculations.
I'm on it.
This takes about 4 hours and requires a successful science test. Each extra 6 reduces the time by 1 hour to a minimum of 1 hour. The jump requires a pilot test at a -1.
Wow, that's a big difference from +3 to -1. That is.
Well, you could jump blind. That's -3. Don't do it.
Ah, well.
This is
the funnest.
Yeah, this is casting raw magic. Okay.
Yeah, basically that's Leroy Jenkins, this portal.
Yes,
see what happens.
All right. Portal jumps. Jumping through a portal means traveling into the portal fields close to the sun of the system. Exactly how the portal fields function is unknown. A lot of fluff here, and I don't mind the fluff. I think it's poorly placed. At this point, just tell me how the freaking mechanics work. And I say that because a lot of the game does like to incorporate the fluff in there, but you're getting the mechanics quicker, I guess is the way I want to say it. This fluff could be at the beginning of the chapter, and then now just tell me how the heck to use the portals.
Sure.
Exactly how the portals field's function is unknown, but the proximity of the stars would indicate that they're powered by the star's radiation or gravitation. The portal fields themselves are in constant movement, seemingly connected to the phases of their suns. This is why you need to have all of these calculations done.
Mm-hmm.
Advanced mathematics are necessary before any portal jump to compute the field's current size and safe entry vector. Without such calculations, there is a great risk of only partially hitting the field. For the unlucky crew, this means an instant bright light, after which the ship simply disappears. Or at the very least, suffers enormous damage. By the way, there's a chart. We'll look at that chart in a moment. No human can travel through portal field while awake.
Oh, okay.
You must sleep through this. The crew must be put into stasis, cryogenic sleep, or they will suffer terrible mental and physical trauma, Event Horizon. Called bad stasis, hypersickness, or frostbite. If they're unlucky enough to survive. On voyages through several systems, most of the crew is left in stasis for the entire time, only woken up at the final destination. In dangerous systems, such as Otakon, all of the crew is woken up after clearing the jump.
Okay. See, that's horrible. I don't like the idea of jumping somewhere being asleep. Arriving in a system that I don't know what's there in my bed. That doesn't sound fun to me.
So, remember, a lot of this game has religious connotations to it. So if you pray and have a little sacrifice, doesn't have to be a blood, stop it. Pushing somebody out of the airlock, technically could count as a sacrifice if it's to the right icon. But you'll get a +1 modifier and takes about 4 hours. If you have a chapel on board, that's a 4-hour prayer, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a chapel on board, you get another +1. And if you have an anointed priest on board, you get a +2. Hey, Shepherd Book is looking pretty good right now, isn't he?
Shepherd Book is looking good. Yes, Shepherd Book needs to go to his altar and give me some prayers and all that good stuff. I need that.
So what happens if you fail?
Well, I imagine it's going to be.
Can you roll me a percentile 60, a D66?
D66. Okay. 54.
Okay. So before we do what 54 says, roll on the table when a portal jump fails. All results, but the last one mean the ship remains in the system and attempted to leave. If you fail when jumping blind, add a 1 to the tens die. I should have just said add 10 to the roll, but whatever. Add a 1 to the tens die. So you weren't jumping blind, we'll say.
Nope.
So you roll the 54. The ship disappears into the portal for D6 days, but is then spat back out in the system it tried to leave. One PC on board suffers a mania.
Okay, well, that doesn't sound that bad. You're not lost. You're not lost in space, type thing. You don't have Robbie the robot, but by God, you came back, right? And you only lost one guy, and he's not really lost. He's just, he's a little disturbed now, but that's fine. That's fine.
Roll D6.
Okay. 4.
Spiritual rupture. The PC's soul is torn, and she can hear voices and spirits whispering and hissing, telling her what to do.
Okay, yeah, you gotta go. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta go. We're gonna stop at the next place that has air, and we're gonna put you there. Because I don't want you on my ship. I don't need you on my ship with little voices talking about who needs oxygen. Screw that. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. You gotta go. Go, your mom's calling. You left all the ovens on. Get out.
All right, so I did all that because I wanted to finish the portal stuff up before going to planet side last. So 71 to 76. So if you do the blind jump and you roll really poorly, the ship enters the portal but exits in a random system. Hey, guess what? You're alive, and nobody's got mania.
Yeah, and that's actually better than my roll because no one's got mania. You may not know where you are, but there's a portal here. You're not lost. You can go somewhere else. It's fine.
For the full Event Horizon, you want the 45 to 53.
The ship
Spanish-
enters the portal and is lost there for D6 hours. Then it returns, now haunted by something from beyond the darkness. The game master decides the details. Yeah, that is bad. See, this is like a Japanese ghost, right?
Yes.
You're not gonna win. You're gonna die. You're not gonna escape. It's going to haunt you forever. You're just done. I personally, if I rolled this, like I'm making a new character. No, no, because this adventure game turned into a horror movie just like that, and I'm done.
All right, you made it to your location. Whew, finally. It took you a little extra time and you got a little psychosis from it. But hey, we'll say your next roll is fine. You made it through. You decided to let Shepard actually preach and say the prayers. You stopped with the whole atheist nonsense and said, you know what? Darkness is real because I saw what happened over there. So go ahead and pray, Chaplain. Good job. Hey, we made it. Life is good. So now you want to land on a planet. Making a trip from orbit down to the planet's surface usually takes 1 to a few hours. All ships must make... Well, it depends on the planet size, how far away you are from it, All ships must make preparations for atmospheric entry or takeoff. This includes warming up the graviton projectors, those are your engines, securing the cargo, and adjusting heat shields. Most freighters in the Third Horizon are too big for it to be practical for them to land planet-side, instead docking with space stations in orbit above the planet, where they unload their cargo to smaller vessels. So Battletech fans are going to look at this and be like, oh, so it's like Battletech. You got jump ships and then drop ships. Yeah, kind of. Orbit ports are found above most planets with large enough populations, while systems with fewer inhabitants instead rely on spaceports on the portal stations. In the orbit ports, cargo from bulk haulers is redistributed to smaller spaceships and then brought down to the surface below. Some cargo is put up for auction, usually in planetside souks, whatever, where free traders bid on contracts for transporting it to colonies and space stations farther from the hub. So you can either deliver it direct, or you can sell it on a space station, or you can give it to a middleman. Usually, you're going to use a broker, so he's going to take a cut.
Now, ideally, as you get more and more money, you will get yourself a cargo dropship that attaches to your ship, because that's more money that you're going to be able to keep in your pocket instead of paying a middleman to get it down to the planet for you. But in the beginning of the game, you're already started in debt, right? So yeah, you're going to want to pinch those pennies. You're not going to be able to get yourself a dropship to get to the planet just yet. So I get it.
Well, and we'll look at spaceships here in a little bit. I think pretty quickly here. So anyway, systems on the periphery, it doesn't matter. That's okay. Spacecraft in the Third Horizon. All right, look at that. There are multiple different types of spacecraft. Now, one of the things that I want to be very clear about as I cover this, I'm not going to cover every aspect of every spaceship and so forth. We're going to look at some important ones, look at some things that might look interesting, and then move on, because the next video is going to be the long one. So I kind of want to get to that. But with that said, you do want to know about spaceships. So why did I just minimize that?
I have no idea why you.
Because
I have no idea what you're doing.
Here's the spaceship sheet.
Okay.
So we're going to take a
little character sheet.
It's its own little character sheet. So we're going to look at this real quickly, and then just remember most of this, because I'm not going to bounce back and forth. So you got your ship class, the class and type, the shipyard that it's from, the problem it has. Problem. Yes, all ships start with a problem. Isn't that great? And how much debt you owe on it.
It's a lemon. I bought this. I went into debt, and it's a lemon.
All ships have a problem.
Lame.
Energy points, we'll talk about how you spend those in the next video. Hull points, that should make sense. That's your ability to take damage. Maneuverability, speed, signature, armor, those are things that we're going to worry about in the next video. Modules, everything is a module. Your engines are a module, your bridge is a module, everything is a module. So this just basically tells what the makeup of your ship is. And yes, by its size, that tells the maximum number of modules you can have.
Sure.
And then other features.
So we should think of these ships as a modular frame. You're buying a small, medium, large frame. The larger the frame, the more it costs, but the more modules you can put on it, and you kind of build your ship like that.
That's a little gamified for my taste, but for the purposes of building the ship, of creating it from scratch, yes. What I'd caution after that is it's like, well, it says here I have 2 module slots left. Well, let's technically you can do that, but I would hope that people don't just look at their ship as module slots, but actually as a ship, if that makes sense. I mean, you can glue more stuff to it, but where's it going? Featured now. You have your captain, pilot, sensor operator, gunner, and engineer. We're going to talk about that in the next video, what their skill levels are, because every player has a role.
Yes.
And what's neat about Coriolis compared to the other games, if you remember the Mutant Year Zero games we covered previously, it was built around a group of 4 players and a game master. This is built around a group of 5 players and a game master. But I only have 4 people that want to play. Don't worry, the game's got you covered. We'll talk about that in the next video.
Okay.
Then you have weapons, more modules, the overflow sheet, more features, and then your ship's log.
Where you've been, what you've done, what the ship's done, how many miles it's got on it, stuff like that.
Okay. Cargo and gear, in case you're hauling some, fun stuff. There you go. So that's the general ship character sheet. So let's go back to here. And now, there are... Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to start saying the 3 mandatory, but we're starting here first. So here are the stats. Classes measure the ship's size from a small scout ship or fighter, class 1, to a bulk hauler, class 5. Class determines how much energy is needed to power the ship. And you can see examples over here. Class 1, breach torpedo fighter, ground breach torpedo. That sounds like some Japanese kamikaze stuff from World War II.
Well, no. I'm pretty sure breach torpedo is a large torpedo with a drop ship type crew compartment inside it. It burrows into a station, opens up, and then your force gets out. Your army gets out to take over the station. I think that's what it means.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, it might be right. I actually don't know. Fighter, ground loader, gravcraft. Now, then you have torpedo ship. Now, does that fire the breach torpedo, or is it a bigger version of what Heathen Dog mentioned? I don't know.
I think it's the one that fires it.
Could be.
Yeah.
Armored hovercraft, shuttle. Now, here we go. You're getting your shuttle size stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Type 3. This is what I would suggest most characters start with, unless you want a lot of debt. A light freighter, a patrol ship, a gunship, courier ship, destroyer. Class 4, heavy freighter, cruiser, salvage ship, mining ship, and then 5, these are your big guys, the battle cruiser, the bulk hauler, and portal station.
You can start with a whole station?
Well, you're not going anywhere if you do that.
Oh my God.
That'd be a lot of debt. All right, so the modules indicate how many optional modules a ship can hold beyond the 3 required modules of bridge, reactor, and graviton projector. Oh, it tells it there too, okay. Energy points measures strength of the reactor, how much energy there is to distribute between the different functions of the ship. By the way, you are not going to have enough energy to power everything on the ship at the same time at full 100% capability.
Well, luckily, that's not going to be required because, you can power down some stuff to, put power to weapons, power down weapons, put power other places. Yeah, I get it.
I like the concept. And, this goes back to the old Star Trek game from VASA, where it's like you only had so many power points. Okay, the Federation cheated, but the rest of them had only so many power points. Like, did you want a strong plasma but no shields? Did you want to be able to cloak? Did you want to be able to fire or maneuver?
Yeah, you have to allocate energy from a set store, which is your matter antimatter reactor. Only gives out so much. I get it.
Yep. Hull points determine how much physical damage the ship can take. Maneuverability indicates how agile and easy to maneuver the ship is, and we'll look at how that works in a little bit. Signature determines how difficult the ship is to detect by others. This is a very big deal in this game, bigger than I thought, and I think this will be covered more in the next video if I remember correctly. Armor tells you how many dice you get for the armor test. It works just like your own personal armor. If you have an armor rating of 6, you roll 6 dice to see how much damage you avoid. Speed is used to calculate travel times in number of days by dividing the distance in AU by the ship's speed. We talked about that before, but I'm glad it's here in this nice little chart. And then finally, cost is the base price of the ship without any features or extra modules. So this is your right off the lot version, no custom.
Well, let's look first at the light freighter, the one that you recommend. This is, if you're starting off, you want to haul enough cargo for it to be profitable, enough to pay off your ship and your crew, and maybe eat.
We will look at ships at the end of this,
or go to
because we now have to create a ship.
Okay.
So now I'm not going through the end. We're not going to go through step by step the process. We're just going to look at what the process is, and then we are going to go look at ships. But so you want to decide what kind of spaceship you need. Now this is going to be determined by your group. Remember back when we did video 1 or video 2, I guess it would be, and we talked about do you want to be mercenary group? Do you want to be merchants? Do you want to be What are the Pilgrims?
I understand.
Yeah.
Let's just do. We're gonna be cargo haulers. That's what we're gonna be.
Okay. Determine its class and origin shipyard. I
Yeah,
don't know
you
enough
class
about
3?
origin shipyard for me to talk intelligently about that right now. And we'll scroll through this. Pick a ship problem. Pick
I don't want that.
modules. Pick 3 features. These are kind of like ship talents.
Okay.
Modify the ship's game stats according to the modules and features you choose. So that's just updating the character sheet, and then calculate the group's debt. So you said you want to be a freighter. So free trader probably.
Light freighter, class 3.
Yeah. So we've got we've got the light freighter, the medium freighter, the courier ship, an express freighter, and I don't know what the asterisks mean.
I don't know. We'll just stay away from the. Let's just stick
pre-made.
with light freighter.
Pre-made plans available. So that means we'll see them.
Oh,
later.
okay. If there's an asterisk, then you got pre-made plans. That's fine. That's fine. But we'll stick with light for this, just for funsies.
All right. Shipyard. Okay, here are the shipyards. Oh, okay. Well, this is interesting. For some reason, I think I skipped this. Shipyards in the horizon. You have. I'm not going to read them all, but we'll look at this one. Chalebs, Mira. I think Mira is the planet name. That's the star, and that's the planet, or vice versa. Beautiful, lean, fast ships. +1 to maneuverability, but +1 to signature. So you got some really powerful engines and maneuvering thrust, but they're a little brighter.
Yeah.
And +5% to base price. So if you're going for the whole money thing, you might not want to start there.
Yeah, probably.
Let's look at one more. Darkos. That just sounds cool. It's in the Kua asteroid belt. Okay, now I get it. So Darkos is the name of the facility, and it's in the Kua asteroid belt. Practical, armed freighters. +1 hit point. That's good. But -2 to arm. Ooh.
Oh, that's no good. I don't like that.
That's tough. Yeah, that's really tough. +1 hit point is good, but yeah, and +5% to base price.
No.
So
does one give +1 to signature, or -1 is whichever is good?
We get -1 would be extra modules, maneuverability, but more modules, -2 armor, no price increase. Nope.
Damn it! All right.
I think
because I don't -5% price. Is there a minus price?
No. Oh yeah. Helgaria minus price, but it's -1 to maneuverability, and +1 to what? But +1 class extra modules. But so whatever class you are. So if you're a class 4 ship or 3 in your case, you get 3 extra modules.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, we'll take that.
So this would be the type of ship that I'd say not good for a fight, but good for doing its job of hauling crap.
Exactly. We're looking to make money, not make widowers. We're not doing that.
Now your ship's problem. You could have faulty thrusters. You could have a curse, because that's always good.
No.
Let's see. Unreliable sensors, worn out ship computer, slow accelerator, obvious signature, or eccentric ship intelligence. Which one do you want to look at?
Slow accelerator.
Okay, the grav projector's accelerator unit is slow and unresponsive when the problem is activated. Remember, darkness point. Moving the ship in combat costs 1 extra energy point.
Okay. Hey, you know what? We're not doing combat in this ship, all right, baby? That's how it works. I'm a businessman. I got business plans. It doesn't involve shooting or getting shot at this point. So that's fine.
So you hope anyway.
Hey, you know what? You know what plans do with the first sign of the enemy? I got a plan. That's all that matters.
Have a very good diplomat and a very good priest.
Yes.
Modules. You have to have a bridge, a reactor, and a graviton projector. I think this is obvious. You need a bridge, to control the ship. You need power for the ship, and you need to be able to move the ship.
Yeah. Steering wheel, engine, thrusters. There you go.
And we're not going to look at those. Those are some modules there. Let's see, reactor. Okay, optional modules. We'll pick 2. I'm just going to read through the names of them. You pick 2 that you want to look at.
Okay.
Salvage station, docking station, hangar, cabins. It's type of cabin, by the way.
Right.
The chapel. And by the way, do you hear your cabins? So if you just want to put people in like sardines, you could have 20 people if you put them in coffins. I love that name.
Awesome.
But you can only have 1 suite.
Oh.
Cargo hold.
Yeah, 2. I got the 2. Chapel, cargo hold. Done.
Okay.
There's my 2.
You didn't want to see the smuggler hold?
Nope. I'm a businessman with business plans, all right? And one of those is not getting shot. I already said this. If you're a smuggler, it greatly increases the chance of you getting a bullet to the face. And I don't want that.
An area reserved for worshiping the icons with 8 visible icons, but there are 9, right? One's called the Faceless. And an asymmetry in their placement, or an empty alcove for the Faceless one. Grants +1 to the prayer roll for the entire crew. If you remember, if you pray, you get a +1, but if you pray at a chapel, you get a +2. That's what this does. As well as a bonus, to portal jumps. So
yeah, I know, man. That's why I got it, because I saw what happens on a bad portal jump. I don't need that. That interferes with the business plans.
And you
Now,
just
hang on. Is stasis hold an actual module you have to choose?
I don't
Because
know.
that's lame.
Yep, it is.
That's bullshit. You need that. It's A. What does A mean?
A means what was it? Advanced. Crap. We talked about it last week, and I forget. It's the technology level.
Okay. Well,
I forget if
you
A
need
is really
this to go
easy or
through a
A
portal.
is really hard.
Yeah, you need this to go through a portal. You need this to make a functional ship. It should be with the steering wheel, the
No,
engine.
because not every ship goes through portals. Some just do interplanetary.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I gotta drop the chapel. I can only
No,
pick 2, right?
No. We're just doing 2 for examples, not 2 because of your ship. We're not actually building your full ship here.
I know, but damn, man.
Because you'd have 3 plus what was it, the size of your ship?
Yeah.
You'd have 3 minimum because your ship is a 3, and then
It's a 3.
didn't you pick the one that gave you more?
Yeah, I chose the one where I get 3 more.
Yeah, so
I
you'd have 6 total. So you wouldn't have a
so
problem.
I got to get the stasis hold as well. Fine,
Yeah.
whatever.
And then depending on the class you get, tells how many beds it holds. Like you could have, you could carry people. You could be a person transport, a luxury liner, a small luxury liner, and have 256 stasis beds on there to tour the third horizon.
Yep.
And of course, you could have a computer and mine system, mining station, service station, workshop. Probably want to be able to heal some things. And this talks about what control out weapon systems descriptions, which we're not going to focus on here. But if you want to pause the game, go ahead. We'll be talking more about weapons next chapter. I'm not getting into what all the different types of weapons are. That's just not relevant. It's a sci-fi game. You can have features now. Remember, you get a number of features.
Yeah,
Was it three of them?
Talents, right.
So you can have a blade of armor, which reduces damage of 1 hit by 3. It disables the armor, which must be repaired by an engineer to function again.
Yeah, that's not cost effective. Keep going.
Countermeasures.
That could be cost effective. I could like that. You know, the best way to not get a repair bill is to not get hit.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
That's a crazy looking torpedo.
It is.
And that's an ion missile.
Okay.
A blade of armor, cost increase. Reduces damage by 3 for 1 attack only. Cost increases 10% to your armor. Or to your ship, sorry. So anywho, got a bunch of other ones on here. I'm not going to read through them all. You get the idea of stuff that you can put on your ship. There's some weapons. There's some shields. Ejector. This feature means that the workstations on the bridge are built into escape pods. Workstation. So you can be an escape pod. So if you know what, abandoned ship, Kobayashi Maru, this thing, you're there. You're already there, just out.
Nice.
And I want to skip to actual ships now. Kind of going through this a little slowly, so people who want to see everything that's in the book, you're not gonna be able to read it all, but you know. Service and maintenance. I'm not going to go into service and maintenance. And
That's
the main
behind
reason,
the scenes stuff that your game master should know, and we'll just let you know.
Your ships do degrade, though. I mean, as you can see, ship wear, things happen.
Maintenance, right? It doesn't say repair. It says service and maintenance, which means that's slow degradation, right?
Yes. All right, so let's look at some ships. This is a Scarab. It's a Class 3 ship.
Light freighter. There you go.
Light freighter, crew of 5, length is 49 meters. What are its... Okay, here we go. You can have the standard model, the passenger ship, or the blockade runner. I wouldn't go with... You're not going for combat, so...
No, that sounds like getting shot in the face, and I'm not about that.
Let's look at how much does this bad boy cost. 1,450,000 Burr. And you owe half that debt at the start of the game.
Half of that. $725,000. That's what I owe on this thing.
Yep, at the start of the game.
That's not That doesn't sound so bad. I mean, I don't know how much money can be made, so I don't know, but
It's
guess we'll
5
find
energy
out.
points, 6 hull points, a maneuverability +1. That's pretty good. Signature though, +1.
Yeah, well,
Armor rating 5, so you roll 5 dice to reduce damage. Speed of 2. So when we look at,
divide by 2.
yeah, you know what? We'll go with that for now because I don't want to bring up the other. I don't want to bring up the battle map. All right. Features. Oh, modules. Docking station, cabins ×2, stasis hold, chapel. There you go. Cargo hold.
Okay.
See, you got your stasis hold and chapel right there.
Sure. Oh, you can double up on modules. Okay, I wasn't sure you could. So yeah, all the cargo, more money.
Med labs,
More money.
accelerator cannon.
Med lab, no one gets sick. Get the fuck out. Get out.
You just sent your kid to school and got sick. You now just landed on another planet.
Yeah,
and you
but
agreed.
We don't get off the ship. We stay on the ship. We just transfer goods. Here, get it. Come get it. That's it. That's what we do. Businessman with business plans.
Accelerator cannon, because you are going to at least want to keep some people at bay. Somebody's, hey, look, you're going to have to shoot at some point, because otherwise a little, what do you call it? Not torpedo. I can't think of the name of it. Escape pod will just come connect to your ship. I got a gun. You don't. I'm taking this thing over. Thank you. Countermeasure dispenser. So, when people shoot missiles at you.
I want a lot of those. Yeah.
Because pirates don't care. They'll take your stuff even if it's on fire.
That's true.
Features an arboretum.
Oh my God, you pansies. Come on. Spartan up.
Atmospheric entry and precise thrusters. No extra gear. Worn out ship computer. We didn't read that one, but that just gives an idea. This is what ships look like.
Yeah, see, I didn't take that because I imagine it will make jumps a lot slower.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't want that. I got a timetable. Keep up.
Here's a gunship. We're just going to kind of scroll through them now. Maybe we'll look at one more, but that's a gunship. It's a ship and it's got guns on it. That's a courier ship. You're delivering mail, I guess.
That reminds me of Thunderbirds. I don't, you guys don't know it. It was a puppet show from like the 70s and 80s and whatever. But there were all these puppets and they had cool ships, and that looked like one of them, the green one. It looked like, Thunderbirds 4 or 7 or something. I don't forget the numbers, but they were like that.
And then
Thunderbird 2. L says Thunderbird 2. Okay.
There are salvage ships. You can start with one, but let's look at how much those cost to start the game.
3.4. Dude, just round it up. Why you gotta do that? Oh, it's cheaper.
Well, no, because it prices out the modules. That's why.
Oh, okay, okay.
Now, the cool thing about that though is your salvage ship, right?
Yeah.
You probably are getting more money for hawking the wares of a derelict ship.
Yes, but that's also inherently more dangerous.
It could be, yeah.
And you could realize that the whole thing is to make money and not get shot in the face. If you find a derelict ship, you're gonna have to board it. That's dangerous. Could be someone there sleeping. He may not be happy you're on his ship. That's dangerous.
Could be
someone
a
could come back for it and then shoot your ship. That's dangerous. I'm not about that.
Yep, could be a xenomorph on there. Unity could be on there, taking over vomiting in people's mouths.
No, don't need that at all. Or I could walk into the whole Horizon situation. I don't want that either. If that ship is haunted, keep it over there. I'm over here, you're over there.
It's funny that you say that, because the first prelude adventure, it is a prelude adventure to the main Mercy the Icon storyline. That's what you do.
You walk into a ghost ship.
For the lack of a better term, we're going to say that, yes.
Nope. Well, then I wouldn't do well in that adventure because I wouldn't get into it. It's like, come on, we got to check this out. Actually, we don't. Because what are you, stupid? So yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Businessman with business plans. It's not about getting my face ripped off.
Also, you've got a patron and you owe money to somebody.
That's true. You got to do it. That's true.
But no, I mean, there are ways around it. Yeah. What do you have? What do you have for questions, comments, concerns?
Look at some chat. No, the book maths it for me, or I hand wave it. Yeah. See, if there were charts, like you're going from here to here, follow 5 days. Whatever. Like the book could do that for you. But apparently it doesn't. You have to do the math on that.
If it
Or
does,
you can
if it
handwave
does, I haven't found it yet. And I want to be very honest with folks. I said this at the beginning when we started. I have not. This is actually a book. Even though I've play tested certain aspects of it, I have not read it cover to cover. There may be a chart in here that I just have not come across yet. But
the awesome thing about this is the travel time between the planet and the star can be as long as you want. It really doesn't matter for the most part. I mean, there could obviously there's gonna be situations where speed is of the essence, right? But for the most part, it takes 2 days once you get to the star to jump to the next star. So getting 2-3 days to get to the star from the planet, that's not really a big thing. Just say 2, say 3, say 5, whatever. Just say it. Doesn't really matter. And then we have the burr. Is this currency in the form of bills? What form does burr take? Is it like all electronic? Is it coins?
It's electronic.
It's electronic. Okay. Then we have if that player is disturbed, you have to ask, are they down with the sickness? Oh, that's the guy who lost his soul, and he's got whispers in his stuff. Yeah. You don't help that guy. Okay, you get him help by getting him off your ship, because if he stays on the ship, someone's going to space him for being stupid.
Well, see, a good game master isn't going to be like, "Oh, you now have mania."
No. He's going to give him a note.
Yeah.
And he's going to read the note saying, "There's this whisper in your ear. You feel like it's your higher
and it won't
self."
even be right then and there.
No.
It'll be
You
later
feel
on, like a stressful situation.
Right. It's your higher self talking to you. You have to eject all the air from this cargo pod. It's the perfect thing to do, and then you do it, and then you interfere with my business plan. All right. So Heathen Dog bought a space Yugo. Yeah, man, I'm going for cheap. -5%. Yeah, going for cheap. I want to make the most money possible out of the gate. I can get a. Okay, here's the thing. If you can't buy 5, you can't afford 1. That's how it works. So once I can buy 5 good ships, I will purchase 1. All right, here we go. And we got so it's a flying mobile home. Yes. Flying mobile home with lots of trailers attached to it. Kevin says, never give the characters a ship in perfect condition. I hate you and everything you stand for.
Well, remember, every ship has a flaw, and it's built into the game for the purposes of having every ship have a little bit of feel to it. Yeah, personality. That's the right way to say it. So none of the flaws are inherently, they're not going to destroy you, but they are something that you've got to consider. It's like Han Solo having to punch a ship. Okay, it's Fonzie kicking the oh my god, the music jukebox. Yeah.
All right. Then we have Rex Teal saying, this may be off topic. Don't know if you already covered this, but what happens if you don't worship the icons?
Everybody does.
Everybody does. But if you decide to not pray to them, then you don't get bonuses.
Yeah, so I would say 2 things. Now, let me be very clear. Some are just superstitious people that don't even care if the icons exist or not. Other people are, on the other hand, they're priests. But it's almost like a fantasy game where everybody knows that they exist somehow, but your care in that is up to you. More agnostic than atheistic, so to speak.
Okay,
now, but hold on, to answer the question.
No, I got it.
What I would do is I would say, if you just add, my character does not believe and I will not worship him, great. Then 2 things. 1, you don't ever have to worry about praying at a chapel or anything like that. Cool. You also can never push your roll.
Yeah. What I would do instead is the Conan the Barbarian route. Conan believes in Crom, believes in his god, but he only ever prayed to him 1 time in Conan the Barbarian, because he didn't have the tongue for it, he said. But really, he didn't have to push his roll. He was OP. I mean, come on. He spent 10 years fighting and muscle building and laying with women. It was great. He had all the training in the world. He didn't need to pray. But when it was like 20 against 1, he was like, okay, Crom, I'm gonna have to pray to you now. Treat it like that.
Yeah.
And you'll be better off than trying to go fully atheist.
Yeah.
Treat it like that. And that's it.
And you're right, I didn't get the Bill Burr joke because I was thinking game. So,
It's fine.
all right. So please, I know I skipped a little bit more in this one. You know, we were getting kind of poo-pooed on a lot of the previous games and how much we skipped. So I've been trying not to skip as much. But most of this was redundant, and also how it was written. It wasn't necessary for me to cover every ship. You get an idea what the ships are. From this point, you either know if you want to get one or don't want to get one, or if you like the game or don't like the game. So please like, subscribe, and share. And the next video is going to be on space combat. And there's two portions of that. There's what you do as the crew. Basically, it's ship operations. And then how do you handle the actual Heathen Dog's little ship that he didn't want to get into combat? Well, surprise, surprise, the pirates don't care, and they're about to attack him.